Hello and welcome. There we go. Camera's on. All right. Welcome to our first episode of the Envoy. We got started a little bit the last time we played, with a little bit of a 0.5 entry, just to get our feet wet and to continue on with our game with the best of our ability. We are still down one, potentially two players today. We'll see what changes. I believe that Ilrin will be with us very shortly. She hasn't attended the last two sessions, so we might have to recruit a replacement here. We'll figure that out soon. But let's start with the players we do have today. We'll go to Lysindra first. Why don't you tell us a bit about Lysindra, Faye?
Lysindra is a Way of the Four Elements monk. Bit of a screw up. Little bit of a screw up. She is trying to earn her father's honor and name and just all of the good things.
Yeah.
Kind of losing it. There we go. Bit of an accidental arsonist.
Oops. Love it. All right. Let's go over to Jai. Can you tell us about Jai?
So, Jai is a half-elf, psionic rogue. I forget what's the exact name of the subclass again? Soul Knife, something like that.
Knife, yeah.
Soul Knife rogue. He's a Soul Knife rogue. He's a member of the Lion's Guard, and he comes from a noble family of staunch loyalists, and he too holds those beliefs, and so he's a devoted member of the Lion's Guard, devoted to keeping the monarchy safe and rooting out all of the revolutionary elements while he's on duty. At least when he's off duty, you could probably find him in a bar or just messing around, having fun, and just not really caring too much about what's going on around him unless someone's trying to attack him or whatever. So bit of a bit of juxtaposition there. Kind of a stick up the ass character when he's on duty, and then when he's off duty, he's like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" That sort of thing.
Good. All right, and so we're still in the midst of our intro cycle, but in the last episode, you were all recruited to a noble gathering, from the looks of it, in a small and quaint tavern. Do either of you recall the name of the tavern?
Oh, I wrote it down.
It was. I don't remember the name of the tavern, but I do remember that they are famous for imported ice wine.
Indeed, they are.
So
It was the Precious Lantern.
Yes, something lantern.
I just want to see if you got that, Faye. What did you say?
The Precious Lantern.
You got it. Yeah, perfect.
See, I'm not good at remembering names. I remember good at remembering like other stuff.
That's fair. Okay, let us continue our story then. So you had gathered at the Precious Lantern for a noble gathering. It seemed kind of strange. I mean, some of you were recruited for what sounded like off-duty Lion Guard activity, right? Crown's Guard activity. So just to clarify to you, Lion Guard is the advanced unit that you are a part of, the advanced upper ranking of Crown's Guard. Crown's Guard is the group that oversees the protection, the faction that oversees the protection of the royal family. Okay, so you came here. I think we had just started a little bit of politicking, as it were, with the small gathering of nobles. And at that point, I think just to get our feet wet, why don't we dive into a little bit of that social conversation a bit?
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, we had a bit of the social conversation, and then I believe I said, "Oh, roll a perception check to look at the the bar or something like that."
We're gonna take a step back from that just to get our feet wet
Alright.
again, just like
Alrighty.
one step back, right? So
Yeah.
Indeed. But you wanted to peer over there in general, anyways, right? Like that was your intention.
Yeah.
You don't
I believe
see...
both of us want to do that.
Yeah.
Actually.
And did you both roll last time? You might have.
I don't believe we rolled. We rolled when we initially walked in. We did not roll while we were at the table.
Okay, let's do perception rolls for Faye and Jai then, or for for Lysindra and Jai.
All right. Oh.
Ooh.
You kind of look over and you see that there are a number of folk at the bar. There's some people that are peacefully kind of drinking around here. It doesn't really seem like anything's out of the ordinary. You might notice just from your vantage point, you might notice the dwarf that sits there. It stands out, and there's a little gnome off to the side here. Other than that, the other two with their backs to you, you just kind of see like what looks like a ordinary, regular size, medium size humanoid type figure, garbed in basic mercantile robes.
All right. So Jai will turn to the group and be like, "So, have any of you ever attended this establishment before? The ice wine here is, frankly, fantastic. So I highly think we're all in for a treat for those of you who have not had it before."
I've been here before. It's quite delicious.
You see that Verant smiles and says, "Yes, quite good. I've only had a few opportunities." And this guy over here, Nakash, says, I can't say I have. I'm not one for partaking."
That's understandable, very respectable. It is not for everyone. It is a bit of an acquired taste, but for those who are more accustomed to the taste of wine, I think that this is one of the best that you can get in the city. They import it, and it's a wonderful process that they use. They use the frost magic to make sure that the wine stays chilled in the process. It's amazing. It's like you're there up in the north having a fresh casket straight from the ice. You know, it's wonderful.
And almost like on command, you see a serving girl. Clearly like a half-elf as she wanders over. She looks a little bit nervous as she approaches the table. Probably quite...
Insight check.
Okay. Give her.
Oh, god damn it! It was so close to a 16. It was a 3.
And it bounces over. It's like, oh, why'd I have to run into that wall? Something about her she seems nervous, and I think for Jai's role, it seems authentic enough, like it maybe a first day kind of thing. She clears her throat. The ice wine will be served shortly. I wanted to confirm, were there any specialty orders, or should we bring them out in our normal pairings?
Bring them out to the normal pairings, I think. Is that anyone have any objections to that?
Normal pairings would be fantastic.
Yes. Thank you. This normal pairings will do just fine.
Good, good. We'll be right over with the first.
All right. And then, so, would these, I guess, would it be possible to watch these wines being poured, from here, or would they be, would this be done sort of in the back, not really able to be viewed from our vantage point?
You watch, you follow her with your eyes, and she actually kind of goes. She ends up going back behind the bar and then into the back here.
All right. Jai will say psionically to the other two. Either of you two catch the fact that he was a little bit nervous and on edge.
Are we able to reply in your head?
Yeah.
Lysindra responds, it's probably due to the event.
I would only hope so. Especially, although the fact that the wine isn't being served from behind the bar is a bit. Normally it is.
Alright.
It's from what I recall. Keep your guards up. Regardless.
And who were you paired with? Remind me, you were paired with Girl as well, right? When you say
I was I was paired with shit, what's his face?
Highwell.
Highwell and Lysindra. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Hyrule, this is understood. With that, you see in a couple of moments, she returns, Jai, since you're interested, right? She returns from the kitchen with what looks like a tray. And then there's also like a bucket, and there's another servant following behind her, a little halfling. Hard to say what like age or whatever. Looks young, but the two of them come out. The little halfling boy kind of trailing behind her. He's got in his hand like a number of what looks like your glasses, and so you realize as they approach the table, they aren't pouring the wine in advance. They poured in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So but she went back into the kitchen to retrieve the paired food that they have with it. So
Gotcha.
the food itself is like a very traditional dish in Siglesia. Quite bland. It even smells bland. You know what I mean? This would be like the equivalent of like think of the most bland like UK food that you can think of. That's
Yeah.
no spices, nothing, nothing great like they have down here in Talos. Just not the best. But the ice wine they pair with it, and we'll give this to Jai because I think Jai would probably be aware of it. This is a wine that is unique to the lands of Siglesia and something your family has like long been acquainted with.
Yeah.
It's at every family gathering you have.
Of course.
It's called the Siglesian Ice Crimson.
All right.
Pretty
First things first. We have the Siglesian Ice Crimson. I know this one very well. Food, the pairing. Well, it's a Siglesian traditional food. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's a little bland. I prefer the Talos food here, but the wine is excellent pairing for it for sure. Maybe compensating for the food, but I'll leave that for the rest of you all to decide amongst yourselves what you think.
You watch as the halfling servant, she's struggling, and then finally pops the cork on the wine bottle. And then
I want to watch the two of them. Do they still look nervous?
A little bit. Yep.
Don't be nervous, lady. Are they both ladies, or is it?
Nope.
Is it both guy and girl?
It's a little hard to say, but he looks young, like a halfling boy, and then it's
Okay.
a half elf girl. She's probably like more like, I don't know, more adult age. He's young.
Don't be nervous, my friends. Don't worry. There's nothing to worry about here.
Of course, Melissa.
We'll try to be take care of you as much as you take care of us. Don't worry.
And you can see she's shaking a little bit, but she pours steadily enough. She's clearly been trained on how to pour correctly. She just takes longer than usual. She asks each person as she sets down the glass and says, she asks the first person, and then she looks at each of you, kind of confirming with a nod that you'd like a glass.
Oh yeah,
Shai nods his
please.
head. Please.
All right. I will leave Ilarion to decide whether or not he had some. Baharush doesn't, or not Baharush. His father does not. Baharush is the name of their family. I forget his name. One second. So I'll look that up.
There we go.
Yay!
Brad emoji's arrived.
Welcome. All right, we are live already, but you haven't missed too much here. So the first pairing of food and wine has come out. I just wanted to maybe take a quick second. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Ilarion, and a bit about yourself, man? As you join in. Sprout emoji.
We can't hear you if you're talking. Oh, I guess there was some mic problems there. Let's hope those get cleared up.
Yeah. Wait. Well, in the meantime, we'll let Sprout emoji chime in once they get through their technical difficulties. Where's it going with the pairing? What did I say after that? Oh yeah, the father does not partake, as he stated prior. Nakash is the name. Nakash just shakes his head. No thank you. No thank you. With that, once the food and the wine are paired, she says, can I get anyone anything else?
Oh no, I think I'm good for now. Thank you.
I think we'll be alright for now, darling.
Yes. Excellent job. You're doing an excellent job, Ash says, trying to help her out.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Hey,
Hello.
there we go.
There we go. Hey, sorry about that.
No problem. Do you want to just do like a quick spread emoji? Do you want to just tell us a little bit about Ilarion as we start the session 1 here?
Yeah, sure. So, Ilarain is a sort of a bureaucratic assistant / diplomatic assistant. He is a Dragonborn Storm Cleric who is the son and assistant to the spiritual advisor for the Queen of the city that we're from. That starts with a T. Talos.
Talos, you bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
That is my whole character.
So all we need to kind of know from you to get you up to speed is the first
Sure.
pairing of food and wine came out. They poured in front of you. Did you want to partake?
They being the employees of this place.
It looked like a nervous half elf a servant girl and a small halfling, maybe somewhere adolescent, maybe.
What's my dad doing?
He's not partaking, but that's not outside of the norm for him either. He just isn't.
Sure. No, I'm just gonna I'm gonna not partake. I'll let it sit in front of me though. I don't want to be rude.
Okay, so you'll ask for the pour, but not drink. Okay. Noted.
Oh, yeah.
And then the dish is something that looks kind of bland compared to Talos food. Actually, your background is noble as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so this is Siglasian, like a traditional Siglasian dish. Picture like the most bland UK food. That'd be like the equivalent of how you'd see it.
Mushy peas on toast.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So with that, both the servants will leave, and because Jai's following suit, or following them with his eyes, you see them both kind of move, and they go into the back, like into the kitchen.
All right.
On the bar. And Nakash here says, "Good friends, would someone please explain to me the purpose of this gathering? I like trading with you all as much as possible, but the circumstances of this one, they just seem strange."
Jai will sort of look to his superior.
Hywell?
Highwell, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to remember that. Highwell. His name's Highwell. God.
Hywell doesn't answer. In fact, when you look over, you notice Hywell's eyes go to him, as if to speak. They go to Verant.
Just a quick one. So quickly, seeing that he's looking at Verant, Jai looks to Verant as well.
Verant clears his throat. This was, in fact, a request. A matter to uncover some details. He looks around to make sure there's no one in the immediate vicinity. And he's talking a bit low. Though it's loud and there's music here, it's not exactly easy for someone really far away to overhear things.
Yeah.
This is, we believe that one of our own, a loyalist, has been spotted. His eyes go to you, Lysindra, as he says this. Been spotted discussing in open with a known member of the Vanguard. A wanted member of the Vanguard. We think he might have changed loyalties as it is. And Nakash kind of looks nervous and he says, "So, we're here for what then? A cover?" Verant smiles. "Oh, dear friend. We're here to partake in wine and food. If we happen to aid the Crown's Guard in their efforts, well, isn't that fortunate?"
If a loyalist were to have been seen with a known member of the Vanguard, if this did happen, who do you suppose that loyalist might be? Just conjecture, after all.
We had a member of the Legion, the City Watch as it is, provide a very detailed description to one of our artists. The detailed description was enough to provide us some confidence as to who it is. Though we would need to more particularly catch him in an act of conversation. His name is Garrett of House Ascaro. Anyone that wants to know if they know like House Ascaro or Garrett Ascaro, you can make a history check if you'd like.
I think I can do that.
Ooh, there we go. Yeah. 19. Oh!
I got a crit.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Okay.
Hell yeah, we got a nat 20.
Uh,
Start-
So
now
I
good.
guess I know him.
Indeed, I think you know him personally. That's what that means. Like you've
I used to
interacted.
babysit him.
Right. He's actually he's an older gentleman. But fair enough. He's an older gentleman. House of Skyro's been around for multiple generations. They're one of the families that sort of follow the queen into Talos, like so at one point, obviously the main seat of the Godfrey family was Siglacia, and still technically is Siglacia, but with the queen spending the majority of her time down here in Talos, it's kind of been like an informal reseating, right? Especially with the king being largely MIA from the spotlight these days. So Varant says, we might consider those he speaks with dangerous, though he's not known for his violence. More of a talker of sorts. I did not see him on the way in. Pity.
Well, talkers can be much more of a trouble than a knife in the dark. I think we can all agree on that.
From a bunch is certain.
Indeed. We've been meaning to rat out one of the major cells of the Vanguard. Actually, he will not say the Vanguard out loud. He says, of the betrayers here. We're not certain if this place is favorable to them or simply an unwanted host for such activity. Nevertheless, Varant smiles and says, I would like to assure you both, as he looks to those of House Baharush, he says, we have some of our finest Crownsguard present.
How's my dad reacting to all this?
Insight check.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay. Those rolls.
Got another 23 or 22.
Oh, and I forgot to mention what House Escaro is kind of known for. So House Escaro is known predominantly for they're involved in trade, like a lot of it's trade, but they in particular deal a lot with the mercantile like vessels, trade routes, things like that.
So shipping.
Yep. Indeed. And with the critical, I will say this. I'll add this to this is the extra little piece. You know,
Oh yeah, give me.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, give me that good critical knowledge.
Yeah, the critical knowledge. The main benefactor, the main competition to House Escaro, the guy that they're talking about, is House Treda. This guy's
House Treda. Okay. Oh, our guest's house. Okay.
Yeah. So he would probably stand to benefit from a House Escaro taking a nosedive politically.
Okay, so how's he reacting then?
He's the
Or
one.
is he's the one speaking, isn't he? Okay.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, I think
Sorry.
what you're left
I
with
came
a
in
little-
late. I'm sorry.
No, it's a lot of names and stuff. So, to be clear, the host of this little gathering, it sounds like the mastermind of this little gathering, would stand to benefit from the other guy being exposed. For sure. All right. Anything anyone wanted to say? If not, I'm about to trigger an action here.
So just to confirm, our guest, our gnome guest here, is accusing House of Scaro of being with the loyalist or Vanguard.
Yeah,
Seems to be the case, yes.
accusing isn't seeking confirmation. Just to clarify, but yeah, certainly pushing it that way, definitely.
Okay.
Well, that is unfortunate news.
Hyrule says, "Indeed, our allies grow thinner by the day."
Illirin is. Would Illirin be shocked by this news, or is this something that
Yeah, I think
how would
you knew him to be great. Like he was an awesome
Sure.
guy, super loyal to the queen. Comes from a long line of doing so, very much so.
Sure. So I'm absolutely shocked by this. I am gonna try and I'm gonna do a quick. I managed to try and keep a calm demeanor, but with I think a little bit of my shock expresses on my face. And I'm gonna see is this news to my dad? He seems to be very stoic through all this.
Yeah. So your father seems concerned with the approach to this, definitely. Because I had you roll an insight and forgot to give you anything on that insight earlier.
I just like rolling.
Yeah. But also you wonder if he really remembers who this guy is. That's kind of your job, right? Like he doesn't really remember names and faces that much. So
I'm gonna lean over to him and just sort of whisper in his ear. These are those shipping guys. He was one of my tutors when I was at school. I don't know how I would know him.
Yeah. I get what you're. I'll pick up on picking up on what you're putting down. He says, his eyes kind of go a little bit more wide. He says, "Oh, I see. I must ask, good friends, is this the business we play in now? To make accusations without any sort of proof?" Verant smiles. "Of course not, old friend. Of course not. That is why we seek proof."
So is this a guilty until proven innocent situation, or I'm not? I ask you that as the DM, not him as the accuser. I'm trying to pick up on the vibe he's putting down. Are we looking for evidence that doesn't exist, or
it's really?
Are we looking for evidence that does exist?
Yeah, it's really hard to say at this point. I think people are definitely wondering about Verant here. Who doesn't seem to be worried is Hyrule.
I will psionically whisper to him and be like, "You don't seem fazed by any of this. Is there more that he's not telling us?"
I think Hyrule will answer in turn, but he'll respond to the table, just by his nature. He'll say, "Look, as I've said," and he motions to Lysindra and he says this, "an artist captured a trusted member of the Crown's Guard's account of seeing the lead of House Iscaro with a known vanguard here in this very tavern, leaving it, in fact. And if that is the case, well, that would be all we need."
Indeed.
What do we know about our host as far as his family and how loyal they are?
Okay, yep. So, what do you know about them? I'll give you the templated answer from the house's cards, because I think you know that. So give me 1 sec.
I probably have my own house cards in a little pouch.
Right.
It's easier for my dad to look at a card than to listen to me all the time.
Right? You just give him cue cards. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm really trying to pick up on the vibe of what's her face from The Devil Wears Prada, the main character.
Yeah. All right. So, they're a young family from Taos. Their founder is Veront. They're considered nobility in all but pedigree, so them not having a long line, right? They've amassed a considerable wealth, and he is said to be friends with the queen.
So new money.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. With that, you see his. Maybe do you see his eyes? Give me. Let's do an insight check, I think, because you're all kind of interested in Veront. It sounds like, or at least two of you are. Anyone who is interested in Veront, give me an insight check.
Ugh. Not good.
15.
8.
Horrible.
Oh.
I'd like to know for Lysandra what she's doing instead. Lysandra.
She is looking at the bar,
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
trying to determine when her next glass of wine is coming.
Yeah. Okay. Veront. Funny enough, that's an interesting take. So you're kind of looking, you're waiting. You see the servant starting to move this way at this point with another glass, and that's got Lysandra's eyes on it. So the next round is coming with the two servants, the halfling and the half elf are coming. In the meantime, those who I guess it would be Ilarin, you can't really see at the bar, but you watch Veront's eyes go in that direction, and you see him give a very firm nod to Highwell.
Okay.
Highwell, because Jai set this up, I want to clarify. This is Jai's doing. I'm going to blame you, Jai. Highwell in his head says to Lysandra and to Jai, "All right, we're up." With that, he goes to stand.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do, Jai and Lysandra?
Guy stands as well.
Okay.
Lysandra stands up.
I wasn't aware we were finished.
Well, this was said psionically.
No, but that's it.
Oh.
I say this out loud.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's confused why three people just stood up arbitrarily. Yeah. Or questioning why, I guess would be the better way to put that. Highwell just clears his throat. Queen's business, he says. And with that, he starts moving.
I will flank him alongside him.
I will mimic them.
Is it normal for presumably armed guards to just leave high quality targets in the middle of a meeting?
I will say we aren't visibly armed.
Okay, is it normal for broad-shouldered, mysterious individuals to leave high-priority political individuals in the middle of a meeting?
That's a very good point, and one I'm about to answer for you. So,
yeah.
As he gets about here, he stops.
Guy sort of stands here, just sort of leans against the wall here.
He says, The Lionkin's been sighted. Our target. I'll remain behind. Look after the nobles. The two of you, I wish you to investigate. Trail him. Try not to make it too obvious. Keep in mind, like, the place is like, everyone's kind of doing their own thing, you know? If anyone notices, it's the keen sense or the shifty-eyed folk that would notice.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I will say, Jai, it's probably, this is probably something I can assume, that Jai has been around. He's been to this place before. He probably knows the barkeeper that's currently there, yeah?
Yep.
All right, so Jai's gonna sort of come up, like walk up to the bar, right? While still keeping an eye on the lionkin that we've spotted, and just sort of strike up a conversation with the barkeep. Be like, "Hey, it's been a while. How have you been doing?" And we'll sort of just in his head psionically tell Lysindra to tail the lionkin, and then he'll be not far behind her.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of have Lysindra go and try and follow the figure that just left, and you're going to create a distraction as it is. Is that
yeah, I guess for now, yeah.
I'm going to do that, but I can't see on the map where my token is moving to.
You can? Alright, what do you see on your token?
I just can't see where my... Hold on, let me close the thing. There.
When I click on your token, I can see, like... I'm just trying to make sense of it, because there's a lot of lighting in this room, so you should be able to see, for sure. What do you see? Okay. Did we lose ya?
Hey. Uh-oh.
If you're there, give us a sign.
Oh, phone died.
Oh, all good. Alright, we'll give it a moment of intermission. I was saying, just to catch you up, Sprout, I think we're going to be recruiting a new fourth for next episode.
Oh, okay.
I haven't heard from Bookloo. I reached out this week, so we shall see. If he gets back to me in the next day or two before I find someone else, then we shall have him. Otherwise,
all right.
I think 4 is the right number for D&D.
Sure. I made a macro. I'm going to see if it works. It does not.
You put a slash in front of that. Will it work?
That usually means it's a comment.
The other streams we had something we called the technical difficulty dance. We would do this until someone came back.
What would you do?
That was the technical difficulty dance. Happened more often than I'd like to admit. Someone's device is always dying.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I teach students online, and about once every 2 days, somebody's laptop dies on me. It's very frequent.
I can only imagine how much of a pain that is.
I get paid by the hour.
I'm gonna go to a BRB screen here.
Okay.
we're back. All right. So
if go ahead.
I was simply going to say, Faye, that you're welcome to move in advance if you're having trouble with the map. Go ahead and sit yourself as to where you think you would be.
From here, where did I see the lion guy go?
I think it would be... So, I do want to clarify, you did see a figure garbed in robe. What they were or what they are is not clear, but you saw who they were directing you towards. Why don't you give me a perception roll? Perfect. That's great. You saw them go around the corner here. You see me pinging over here?
Hold on. Yes.
Yeah. So you saw
By
them,
the bar?
yeah, you saw them go around the corner.
Okay. So, if I move my character up by here,
Yep. That's fair, that's fair.
and then how do I move the map?
Hold right click, I believe,
Yeah.
to move the map.
You hold right click and then you can kind of move the map around.
Drags the map around, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That is helpful.
All right. Just while you guys are doing that, I want to zoom in back to the table real quick because it's happening almost at the same time. He'll just take a step back and kind of look back your way to the three nobles, and Varant says, "Matters are underway now. We've found one of our targets."
One of the members of House Iscario? We're just already doing it?
Rather the one that we believe House Iscario was acquainted.
A question about how the Crown's Guard works. Do we need to worry about, like, due process? Or do they just, like, is it normal for them to just sort of randomly arrest people?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I think that would largely depends, you know.
Would I be surprised if they just randomly arrested somebody in this tavern?
No. You
Okay.
wouldn't. Yep. There is open fighting on the streets in Talos between the Vanguard and the
Sure.
Crown's Guard. So
Sure. Okay.
it would not be out of place, but there are those that believe in justice, proper due process more than others.
Okay.
Your father speaks up and says that this all is a bit concerning to me. I would very much like it, Verance, if you could be sure to warn me about such things. Next time I will follow my gut and not attend. All right. So with that, we're gonna cut back over.
Sure.
So I need a either persuasion or deception roll from you, Jai. This is for your distraction.
Persuasion it is. Actually, I could do both, but persuasion, I believe persuasion it is. That is a 23.
You start to make like a boisterous conversation with the barkeep, who responds in turn. Ah, Jai, it's good to see you again.
So you too. Do we just want to temporarily name him?
Yeah.
Gus. Go with Gus.
Gus.
Why not?
I like it.
Gus, how have you been, buddy?
Good. And how's your family? I haven't seen your
It's
brother
doing-
in some time.
Yeah, he tends to stick around the old library. You know, him being his wizardly nerdy self. You know, he comes around every now and then. I have to drag him out of the out of his studies every now and then. Actually, come to think of it, yesterday he and I were doing a bit of an experimentation. Let me tell you, that is the last time I let him do any sort of experimentation on me. I felt that for the rest of the day, let me tell you. My body was sore. Damn. It's
Gus says, well, then I'd recommend a couple more glasses then.
Oh, for sure. I have some business to take care of. I have a friend, I believe, sitting over there. I'd like to also meet up with. So, order me, get me some of the Siglacian, the good stuff for just a couple of glasses for now, and then I'll be back to pick it up in a second.
Okay. And while you're doing that, because you had kind of, I want to see if Lysindra is now, this happened right before the technical difficulties, so I want to make sure first off that Faye heard it, and then second off see what Lysindra is doing. So Jai, can you tell us what you had said to Lysindra in your head?
So basically, we had both seen, I believe, the cloaked figure, and I basically said in my head to Lysindra that I told her to pursue him for now, like around the corner, and then I'd join her, or I'd be trailing after her in a bit. Just because one person following someone, or two people following someone is definitely shifty. One person following them in a busy crowd, or going in that same direction, not too shifty. So, I figured, since Jai probably knew the innkeeper, or the barkeep, he could, strike a conversation, make it seem more natural. So, Lysindra,
Pursue and restrain?
Just pursue for now.
Pursue.
Yeah. Keep an eye on him.
Okay. Pursue. She's whispering to herself.
Yeah. Okay. And you can go ahead and again update your movement accordingly.
Okay. So she's going to use her movement, which I believe is 45 feet. So there. She's going to bonus action, or she's going to move, or dash as her action. Because monk. And can I see them yet?
Do you see them on your screen?
Yes.
Then you see them. Yeah. You see them walking kind of casually in this direction. At the same time, as you see Lysindra pick up speed, Jai, this gentleman gets up and starts to move around, starting that way. Do you want to interrupt them in any way?
When he gets around 5 feet past me or so,
okay, yeah.
I'm going to get up and I'm going to sort of start walking sort of behind him, kind of a little bit stealthily if I can.
Okay, you're gonna try to sort of pursue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll message. I'll whisper to Lysindra, just quickly. Someone else got up. I'm just quickly following them, as well. They're coming in a direction. I'm coming up behind them.
Okay.
Yeah. At this point, Jai's still sort of chatting up the barkeep, that sort of thing, just walking in this direction.
Yeah. So I think with your role previously, we'll say that you fit in here. There's nothing out of the ordinary with what you do.
Yeah.
So with this back at the table, Hyrule turns back and says, "If you'd like, I can escort you out the front. If you'd prefer to stay, I will keep guard." And with that, he looks to the two of House Baharush for an answer. And I think your father, Ilrin, would look for your interest here.
He's asking me if I want to stay and watch someone get arrested?
Yeah, well, I think your father's like, what's the right move, right? Because he looks to you for most political anything decisions, right?
Oh, well,
yeah.
Well, that's his fault. Okay, so I mean, not to be that player, but I don't think it would behoove a high-ranking spiritual diplomat such as my father to be around when an arrest happens.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so
Totally respectable. Totally fine. Totally
yeah.
understandable.
So I'm gonna suggest that we skedaddle.
Veron says, "Oh, come now, friends. There's no need to be afraid."
Oh well, if he says that, okay.
Does that change your mind? No, I imagine.
No, no.
Hyrule just.
I don't want to be around such uncouth activities.
Hyrule says, "Very well. This way." And with that, Veron sort of frowns and finishes his glass, but does stand to accompany the two of you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess I'll walk over here.
Yeah. All right. Hyrule says, "This way." And your dad's in pursuit.
Oh, we're not going out the front door? Okay.
It is over here. It's the front door. This is a window.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so as the group starts to move in that direction, just trying to keep things more or less on point with timing wise.
Sure.
Okay. And we'll go back to Faye. So Faye, you see this gentleman round the corner. This figure around the corner.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make a roll here. Oh, wrong dice. Okay. You start to see him start to move quickly.
Okay.
Do you want to change? What's your action then once you start to see him move? Pretty rapidly.
It would be the same movement bonus, or it would be a movement action dash bonus action, use a key point, step of the wind.
Okay. Please do so. You can move your token.
Okay, so may I try to jump over this counter here?
Yeah, you could do that. I'm down with that. Do you want to? You could jump over it, or you could run up it. You know, whatever way you want to do it. I think it's just either an athletics or acrobatics roll for that.
Okay. I will totally try to slide over it.
You're gonna do like a baseball slide sort of thing. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no, that's a.
You know what? We're gonna make this perfect Lysindra fashion. You go to jump up, and the stool that you kind of go to pivot on just gives way under your feet, and you end up sliding kind of into a roll over the table. But as you roll over the table, you run into the lantern that's on the table, and you just send it flying onto the ground, and there's a fire that just starts up right here.
Oh god.
Oh, that's perfect. I love it. I love it.
I didn't mean to set it on fire.
And needless to say, it does limit your actions. This guy is still moving at a steady pace. Jair's still kind of on the trail there.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a stealth roll for that?
Will do. That's another thing I'm really good at.
So should I stop right there?
Hell yeah!
You
28.
can go like 10 more feet.
Cool. Oh no.
You're good. No, don't. It's for Jai. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
So Jai, he doesn't seem to notice you. He just continues. When there's you hear like a little bit of a thud and a rattle around around the corner. You see him start to move quicker.
Okay. All right. I will continue to tail him a little bit.
Yeah. Let's go down to our folks at the table. So Hyrule's moving this way.
I'm actually gonna move. I'm gonna move sort of this way so I can see sort of around this corner a little bit.
Ilrin, if you want to update your movement, your father will
Yeah.
be right beside you.
I want to stay close to the burly man that we came in with.
Perfect. And okay, so at this point, you see this guy step out, almost to like move in front of you, and so
Okay.
is this guy.
So how do we feel about what are these goblins?
One's something that is known as a desert orc. They're like a local tribe. They're a bit smaller in stature than just an orc. The other is in fact a goblin. I think that's up to you. The goblins are known for trade, for sure in this area. I think you would definitely probably be more than used to them at the mercantile level. This guy looks like a ruffian, though, right? He just looks like he doesn't belong here. I think I established that at the beginning. Like he just looks a bit out of place, and his eyes go to all of you.
Okay. Well, Highball's in front, so I'm gonna let him say hello to them.
Hyrule's pauses and kind of puts a hand back to you because he's guarding you as his escort. He says, stand aside. They don't do so. Do you want to do anything in turn?
That is a good question. Not yet, no.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the top. I'm sorry for running this in sequences like we're in a niche, but it's just easier to kind of keep track of.
Yeah.
All right. So, Faye, what are you gonna do? So you see this small bit of fire here. And what's Lysindra's reaction now?
At this point, she's probably thinking, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" But also can't let dude get away. So she's gonna. Oh shit. Go after dude.
Gonna go after the guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Noted. I'm just gonna throw like a small flame icon on here just for my sake. Give me a sec.
So 45.
With your background, I should have had this handy. My apologies.
So 10. So she doesn't see him when she gets up here. Oh wait, he's way down there. So 10. That's her movement. That's her action. Bonus action is a key point, gets her to him. And there are other people down here. And she yelled, "Stop him."
So, I'm gonna give you something. Actually, do an insight test for me. Test your insight for me.
Please don't roll a 1.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Nice. You get down here and you're like, "Stop him!" And like as you kind of move, you look and you realize this is the guy that you drew the picture of, or you had the artist draw the picture of.
Oh shit!
And
Oh shit!
this person doesn't look like they're friendly either. So, with that, I'm gonna add an action to what they do here, but I'm gonna start with, we're gonna go down to Jai first. So Jai, this guy is continuing to move, and probably dashing at this point.
All right. Well, given that I am a rogue,
Sorry, I moved him over because there would be fire here. So.
yeah, given that I am a rogue, let's see. Hold on, what's my move speed? Oh, it's only 30. Yeah, so given that I'm a rogue, I can also do a bonus action to dash, and that would get me sort of there,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
It doesn't quite get me in range of him though, unfortunately.
So close, so close.
Actually, it. Give me a second. I need to look here. Technically, he is in my range. Is there? So I'm just gonna quick looking around. There's no one else around here, yeah.
Indeed.
All right.
Back here.
And then I don't quite see Lysandra.
Right.
I'm not quite in range. Oh shit.
Did I roll that? I rolled that.
Yeah, you did.
Weird.
Yeah,
I had your token click, that's why.
Yeah.
But 20 nonetheless. This guy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, given that like this guy started running the second given that he started moving after he saw Faye move after the guy, and then he started running after he heard the thing. Yeah, Jai's gonna open up with an attack. He's gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, where you going?" And then immediately open up with a psychic blade attack on him.
Okay. And now, is it something you have? Do you have action left to do so?
Yes, because I movement bonus action to do that, and then this is an action to use my psychic blades. Give me a second.
All right.
Psychic blades attack, dexterity. How do I do this? Okay. So here's the attack. It's to hit. 22.
Awesome.
And then would I get actually, because this is a surprise? Would this be like a surprise round type thing, or?
No, I clarified that with that 20 I rolled, I clarified that he heard you now, right?
Oh,
so
I didn't. Okay, gotcha.
I didn't get to that description, but that's what that was for, to see if because
Gotcha.
basically he was running because he was after Lysandra. He had no idea you were there. But once you both pick up speed and he's kind of going around the corner, he kind of realizes that he's not alone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. At a critical level, apparently. So. Oh,
Oh, nat. No, that was a nat 20.
that was a natty 20. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, yeah. You despite the 28 stealth, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's me opening up an attack on him though.
Yep. And damage, please.
Okay.
You can just click the damage on the psychic blade. You posted to chat. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, that's a
Six.
1 on the damage side. But that's 6 psychic damage to him.
We're gonna go before we get into combat. We're gonna take a very minor break before we do. It's a good like kind of cliffhanger moment. But as we do, I want to address what's being done down here. This one pulls a dagger and this one pulls a short sword from their from their packs. This guy in particular seemed to have it like right behind his cloth at his back. This guy had it at his side. And they look to you all and they say, "Death to the Godfreys." You can
I say you wouldn't hit someone
No,
who's
no.
unarmed, would you?
other group. I'm down at the nobles right now. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is Ilarin? What do you want to do given this scenario? Might have lost you. All right. Are you muted by chance? Maybe AFK? You know what we'll do? I said we were going to break anyways. Probably a good time to break. So, be right back. And we're back, everyone. Let's go ahead and pick up just before some dice are rolled. Illarin, what happened last? Just as you were, just before we took break, is
Sure.
These two that were in your way. They said, "Death to the Godfreys," and they looked at all of you and drew weapons. This guy has a.
Do I know the Godfreys? Where's that? What's
That
the
is
importance of that
that is
name?
yeah. That is the royal family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I definitely know them. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So that
Well, this is uncouth. Okay.
this for sure, like that kind of saying would almost for sure make them Vanguard. Would be your guess.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything preemptive? Because we're about to do some initiative rolls. I'll give you one kind of action because you were already aware that stuff was going down. So if you'd like,
Is this guy? Is he still uninjured or?
sorry, I'm just down at this group first.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on my father.
Show the faith in your father. Okay.
Yeah, he gets a +2 to AC for as long as I'm concentrating, or 10 minutes, whatever comes first.
Okay. Can you just like click it on your sheet so I can read it and then go ahead and is there a roll accompanied with that or no?
No, it just happens.
Yeah, if you want to just click it for its.
Oh, here we go. Cast at level 1, consume spell slot.
Perfect.
There we go.
Awesome. Great. And then Jai, were you asking because it's showing unwounded? Is that why?
Yeah, I think I forgot to target him when I did the attack and the damage.
The targeting may or may not be working anyway. So you did 6 damage total, right?
Yeah. Not a lot.
No, it's okay.
Several minimum.
I've updated it manually now. All right. So I think with that, we're gonna roll some initiatives in all parts and all parties.
All right.
Let me know if you have any questions on how to do so.
It says there's no active combat encounter in your currently viewed scene.
Right. Okay. Now this is the part where I remember how to do this.
You got this.
Okay, it's unpaused, so that's a good start. From here, I'm pretty sure there is no active encounter. Pretty sure I changed that. Yeah. One sec. I don't remember it being difficult when I did it last week. So.
It's always easier when you're not in the moment.
This is true.
That do it? I think that might have done it. Let me make sure I got everybody.
Did I try rolling initiative? Ah, there we go. Hell yeah.
Heard that they were still listening to me. Alright, I'm gonna roll for these folks too. Alright, well we're on the right track, so that's good. Just confirming how to roll for initiative. Just give me a second. So, do this real quick because I forgot to import the sheet. Give me a sec. Oh, that might be super easy. That might be wasting time. Here, let me try this. Hey, look at that. So we are officially all rolled up. We're ready for combat. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Right.
I get it.
Okay. Man, Foundry is fun. Begin combat.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
you're up.
first things first. There's a question of if I had like an extra 5 feet of movement at that one point, this would have been so much better. But I don't. So, actually, I'll have to do this instead. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my rogue's steady aim ability, which is as a bonus action I can give myself advantage on my next attack roll on the current turn, and I can only use it if I haven't moved during this turn. After I use after I use it, my speed is 0 until the end of the current turn.
Right.
So I'm gonna do that. So bonus action, steady aim. I now have advantage on my next attack, which is me throwing a psychic blade at this guy.
Okay.
So that's an attack at advantage.
Wow.
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 That's really shit. Okay, that's a 13 to hit. That's a 13. Does that hit?
Let me confirm for you. It might, because a lot of these guys don't have armor. 13 is his armor class.
All right, awesome. So that's the psychic blade's damage here, which is a max damage, 11 psychic damage plus my sneak attack.
Okay, go ahead and give me your sneak attack.
So that's 11 plus 11 plus 11, so that's 22 points of damage. I believe it's
You drop him.
I drop him?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So basically, Jai just says, "Where you going, buddy?" and then just throws a dagger right into the back of his head, and then just sort of just like or a psychic dagger pierces the back of the head, and he's just, and then, yeah.
Roger that. All right, so I believe you can trigger an end turn.
How do I do that?
That is a good question.
I
I know you can. Do you see it on the side, maybe, or maybe it's actually on your token if you right click?
Right click. The toggle to combat state, assign status effect.
Oh,
On the initiative tracker,
Yeah.
if you're looking at the big bar at the top, there should be an arrow at the top right that says next.
Next turn. All right, cool. I did it.
all
right, it's now-
Yeah, it has gone. Okay.
So I drop him. Awesome.
Yeah, you dropped him in one hit. So we're on to Highwell. Okay, so Highwell is going to move in defense of the nobles.
All right.
He's going to, I think, instinctively step back into a defensive state over Treda specifically. And for now, he's got his he's got a short sword. Like he himself is not wearing the full Lion Guard armament, right? And that means he does not have his longsword with him. So he simply moves and draws the hidden blade from his back and steps into a defensive state.
Ooh. Okay.
We're gonna go to Faye.
All right. So the guy next to me,
Mm-hmm.
is he still up or is he down?
Everyone you see around you is like not unconscious or wounded in any way. This guy is kind of moved. Like you were gonna apprehend him. Now it looks like the Lionkin's turning to you instead. Looks like we got the upper hand kind of thing. No one else has moved yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Hey guys, hi, fancy seeing you here. I was looking for you. I'm gonna stunning strike him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me your attack.
So on Foundry, how do I do that? I make.
You want to target him first, which I think you can. If you hover over him and hit T, I want to say that will target him. And then once you do that, you can open up your sheet and make your attack roll from there.
And I think stunning strike is confirmed after the hit. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would recommend is on your sheet, if you go into your sheet, if you can press the feature for us, the stunning strike feature, so we can read it, and then it usually has like a some buttons with it to help you.
Okay.
Go through it.
How do I share it?
I think if you just roll it, I think it'll trigger.
Oh, there we go. Got you.
All right. So that's a DC saving throw on Constitution for them, right? But you have to actually hit with your strike first.
Right.
And if you click the attack button underneath that. Oh, that's good.
Ooh, it wasn't a 1.
Then I'm just gonna check this guy here. Oh, beat the DC saving throw though, right? It was a 14 you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still deal the damage, though. Why don't you deal the damage? Damn it. Alright. He grunts as he's hit back. Ugh. Brown's guard.
I'm going to Fury of Blows him.
Okay, is that that's your bonus then?
Bonus action.
Go ahead and click the Fury of Blows on Foundry, and then go ahead and execute.
The best part of that is both of those can hit stunning, can trigger stunning strike if you want. I think. Yeah. If you have the key points.
Yeah, but neither of them do because he passed the.
I think that he has to re-roll it every time you trigger it. I'm pretty sure. That's usually how it works. I don't know. DM, what do you think?
That sounds right to me. Yeah. Because you're spending a cheap point for it too. Right?
So I.
Go ahead and so after you take an attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 chi point to make 2 unarmed attacks as bonus action. Right?
Right. So I'm spending the key point on that.
I think you already did that.
Yeah, you can go back to 3 if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can make your attack roll.
Okay. Sorry, Foundry is kind of confusing.
Yeah, I think it takes a bit. I think it works really well after.
And then making 2 attack rolls, correct?
Yeah, correct. Okay, that'll hit. That'll hit.
1, 2.
11 more damage.
And then if you want to, you can trigger stunning strike, I think.
Right, and does that take a chi each time that you attempt to do that? Or?
What does it say?
Stunning strike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want either of those, you could spend another chi per attempt. No, you're good with that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's good. All right, I will. I'll move the initiative forward.
And.
All right. So the Vanguard Orc, seeing Hyrule as a threat and an armed opponent, and recognizing your father, is gonna move in on your father, which won't trigger an attack, will it? Okay. Let's see how this goes. Hits.
Oh, I was muted. If he moves past Highwell like that, doesn't Highwell get an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, he will. Well, I'm not sure because he didn't leave his actual range, right? So does that give him the?
Oh, he started in his range. Okay, I think if he starts and ends in the range, it doesn't provoke.
Well, no, actually he didn't. So he will provoke an attack of opportunity. He doesn't care though. They're like they're going for the the nobles in the back kind of thing. Okay, and then I didn't update your father, and that would be 5 damage totals. So
Remember, he gets a +2 to his AC.
Oh right, mage armor. Yeah, it's 17.
Yeah.
17, and he's got no like base armor on. So
yeah. I don't have my armor on either, by the way.
Yeah. No one does. No one out of your party does.
Yeah.
So,
Do we? I believe. Well, we'll discuss that because I thought that Jai had like his armor on under his robes or whatever.
We can discuss. Yeah, we'll discuss
Okay.
that. Because you were given a heads up, so we'll discuss that in a moment. I'm just gonna check with Hyro. Seven. Wow.
Big ooh.
Yeah. But that might still be enough, though. No, he misses. I will miss. All right. Good times. So the Vanguard Orc dashes forward and brings the blade to your father. Your father kind of moves his body in a way where he just catches the glance of it, but it's enough to cut through his robes, and you can see a bit of blood. A bit of blood on his side now as your father grunts. Ilrin, get out of here. Concerned with his child. All right, so let's. All right.
All right. So. There's one more before me. Okay.
Yeah, there's one more before you. So, the Lionkin moves to retaliate in turn. He pulls from his side a short blade. Faye, without armor, what is your AC?
Without armor, I believe her AC is a 17 because monk.
Okay. Yep. Well, the Lionkin misses and grunts. Ugh. My rolls are killing it, by the way. Ugh. Get out of here. I'll look after this one. Next person.
Next person's me. Okay, so I want to maintain concentration on my father, but now I am seeing that they are harming our well-being, so I'm actually going to move here. Why can't I move? Why is it not letting me move? Oh, hold up. I have my ruler on. That might be why. There we go. Okay. I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to cast Thunderwave.
Please do so. Remember to target the...
Yeah. Yes. Let's see. I'm going to cast it at second level. Cast... Oh, it's a 15 by 15... That's what 15 by 15 is. Okay, I was... let me actually... I'm trying to figure out the best location for me with my template. So we're going to, with your blessing, I'm gonna.
Yeah, you want to go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Yeah, there's no way I can hit both of them. Okay. I'm actually just gonna chill here. Try and get my dad and Highwell out of the range of attack. And yeah, there we go. I'm going to cast Thunderwave as a second level spell, so I'm going to take a quick look at the spell description. Did it pop up in the chat? It did. Yeah, so I'm just going to put my hand around the. I have a little reliquary on my hip that I keep on me, and I'm going to sort of grasp my hand around it and speak a couple words of faith to my god, and then clap my hands together, and an enormous wave of force erupts around me and hits this desert orc in the chest.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He does get a con save.
Let's check his con save. Con is one of the better things he has, Mr. Doinia.
It's got to beat a 13.
Let's do it from the sheet.
Ooh. Tough break.
That is a bad roll.
Yeah, so he takes 2d8 thunder damage and is also pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay.
And if there's any unsecured objects in the area, they get pushed away from me, and they also, yeah, they go as well as a thunderous boom erupts out to 300 feet.
All right, give me the damage.
Oh, excuse me. It was a second level spell, so it's actually 3d8.
All right.
Yeah. So, that's my job.
Yeah.
The roll 20 rules are in effect. Good.
Okay. So you did 13 damage. Let me just do that first.
I don't suffer blackguards.
Stop here. All right. So you can definitely see that hurts him, and as he's blown backwards. 10 feet, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, he's blown back end over end, kind of lands on his feet again, but he's thrown in a tumble. You know, it's one of those scenes too where all the dust and everything else around you sort of picks up in a rush. Of course, Varant looks quite annoyed that it ruffles up his hair. So.
My father and Varant also get attacks of opportunity because he left the.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
When a hostile creature that you see moves out of your reach.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check that. Attacks of opportunity are always kind of funky.
You're not wrong. I'm gonna rule. I don't think either is going to do anything in that case, just because they weren't prepared for it.
Sure.
But yeah, good stuff. Anything else you want to do with your action? You got anything left?
No, I've moved and cast. I think that's all my my action points that I have left. So.
Okay. Move to the next guy who is dead. So then onto Ron. Varan holds his hands behind his back and simply takes a step. Actually, I'll step here. Very much a smug look on his face as others do the dirty work. And with that, the goblin will move up and try and attack you. He's got a dagger in hand.
That's not very kind of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Die, Baharush.
Don't have any reaction spells.
Does a 12 hit you?
A 12 does hit me.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. You take 5 damage as the blade cuts into you.
Bummer.
Your father is going to move up and just gonna borrow something from your sheet, bro.
Sure.
Because you and him thematically, right? We've thanks. Thanks for the subscription. I guess I don't have my animation set up on this OBS template. Noobs.
Are you streaming on Twitch or YouTube?
Twitch, and then I put my library in the tubes after. I was just checking to see. Sorry, I don't want to waste things too much. Your father is also at the same temple you are, is he not? In the background.
At the same temple?
Yeah.
Like, does he worship the same god? I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would assume so. He sent me to school.
Okay, I just need the template for minor healing, because I think he's going to heal you.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Minor healing. I don't have that. You mean
what?
healing word?
Yeah, healing word.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have healing word.
Just pick it for me, and then I'll...
Yeah. Can I just do this? Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. It's 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Unless you cast it at a higher level. Or... I can't just click and drag it into the chat. That's so frustrating. What happens if I do that?
You get 7 back.
7. Oh, thanks, Dad.
Indeed. Not all useless NPCs. All right, we're back with the next round then. Before we go though, this person, I forgot to do that. So these two who were not on the action list will roll in this round, but I want to give them their action. They were basically just rolling in at the end of the round. So let's do that first and foremost. I'm gonna roll them in. And they'll have their action at the tail end of round 1. Alright. You see her, Lysindra, you see the lady stand up on her chair, leaps over it, runs this way, and in like a very parkour-ish type move, dashes through the window, which is shuttered, so it like breaks as she pushes through it. And I'm just gonna test that to see if that goes wrong in any way, shape, or form. It's not the best, it's not the most graceful. You can hear a thud as she lands upside, and you don't see her anymore.
That's in Jai's sight range, so he sees that happen. It's like, oh fuck.
As long as you could see it, let me just confirm.
Yep, I could see that, I believe.
Yeah, so you see just the tail end of this figure. You probably can't even make the figure out. You just see them like leave that way.
Yeah.
Okay, and we are at the top of the round with Jai at the beginning.
All right. So, Jai's going to move here, and now he sees this group of people. I just want to see how far away this is. Okay, so Jai's going to move, and then cunning action, dash, and then regular action. Actually, how far away is this guy? This guy's fixed 60 feet here. So actually, yeah, all right. 60 feet away, Jai's going to take use the psychic blades, or throw one of them at this lion dude thing. What the hell? There we go. All right, and then let's do that. So he's just barely in range. I love it. Ah, shoot.
Yeah.
That's almost an easy.
He's got higher than a 10, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and then we're gonna move on to Hyrul's pissed now. This guy behind, I think, is gonna go and try and eliminate him.
Also, after when Jai saw someone the figure jump out the window, he's just gonna relay that to everyone. He's like, "We have a runner out the back window. Keep that in mind." Oh, I don't know what those were, but that was a...
All right, so Hyrule comes up and lays into the orc twice with his blade. The orc looks badly injured at this point as he's grunting. Ah, bastard. And it's Lysindra's turn.
Okay. Lysindra is trying to find herself on the map.
Fair enough.
There we go. T. There we go. I am going to try to stunning strike again.
Perfect. Attack. Oh. Yeah. All right.
Hell yeah.
Give me your crit
Oh,
damage.
yeah.
Nice.
Now, because he's stunned,
He's not stunned yet, I don't think. He has to roll the con save.
oh, true. True.
And because of the crit, I'm gonna just do something fancy here and whatever I roll here, actually I'm gonna make him roll the stun save at disadvantage. That's what I'm gonna do.
So,
Oh, what?
oh,
Damn it.
damn it!
Resilient bugger. You smash into him and he's now badly injured as he grunts. Oh. Fucking Crown's Guard. Oop, I went forward too much. Just trying to speed it along here. So we are where am I? There we go. We're at the orc. The orc's going to lay in turn to Hyrule. And it's gonna miss. The Lionkin looks at you and kind of turns to see Jai, who almost hit him. His hands go up and they go behind his back, and he goes to move on his bow down onto his knees. He says, "I surrender. I surrender."
Good choice.
And with that, we go to Illarin.
So the lion kind of surrendered. What about this guy right in front of me here?
He is not. He is uninjured at this point.
He's still threatening, though?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna break concentration on my mage armor here, my shield of faith, and I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna cast it. Thank you. Cast it at second level. Oh nope, no more second level spells. Instead, I'm going to. What else can I do? I really don't have that many upper level spell slots, do I? Okay.
You could like punch him and try to just divine smite him.
I don't have smite.
Aren't you a paladin? Oh,
No,
you're a
I'm
cleric.
not.
Shit, you're right.
Classic cleric. I'm just gonna Thunderwave again. You know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
My bad. I thought you were a paladin for a second.
No worries. Yeah. So I'm gonna clap my hands again and see how this guy holds up.
All right. So let's see it.
It's gotta be the 13.
That was what is he doing? Constitution, right? And
Yes.
this is the guy that's right in front of you, right?
Yes, this the one with the big ears.
Yeah. Apparently he did. 15.
Nuts.
With a 0.
Yeah. So he takes 2d8 over 2. Okay.
2d8. Go ahead.
8. Yeah. He takes half of 9, so that'd be 4.
Okay. Varant just kind of falls back into the corner here. The goblin, however, is going to take a strike at you.
He already did that, though.
This turn?
No, I'm being sassy.
Okay, I'm like, wait, what? Okay. I know, right? Mean guy.
How do I get rid of these
rude.
squares?
It's a
22. Oh, the 22 definitely hits.
You take 5 damage. I don't
All right.
know. I'm trying to help you out. This happened the last time when you drew the line of sight stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's something only you can clear. I don't seem to have control over it.
Let's see.
But we are.
I'll Google it while you're.
Yeah, we're nearing an end, so I think your father's gonna come up and do the exact same spell that you just did. He's gonna enact Thunderwave on the goblin as well. Managed to take half again. And when you casted level 2, you did 3d8. Six damage there.
Very nice. Very nice.
So as we move into the next round, before you do, Jai, just this
All right.
guy, he does not move. He just simply stands up and puts his hands up.
Well, I don't see him, so
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. I'm just giving you that advanced knowledge as you go forward. So like that's what
Okay.
you'll see if you move.
All
in
right.
pursuit.
Yeah, I am gonna move like double move over here, and so I see that. I'm just gonna move here and be like, just point to him and be like, "You have some explaining to do." And I'm gonna radio in to Highwell, and say, what was his name? What was this guy's name again? This guy.
Yeah. Sorry.
Whatever his name was, I'm gonna say
Iscaro, Garrett Iscaro.
we have Iscaro apprehended, along with one of the other. Was it Vanguard? Was it?
Yeah.
Along with one of the other Vanguard. Good work, Lysandra. We should probably go take care of that fire, though.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Yes, I know, but let's take care of it regardless before it spreads.
Is that all? Is that all in your mental interaction?
Yes.
It's
now.
spread. It's spread 9 squares, by the way.
Ah, shit.
I was counting the number of rounds, D4 for round. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna close because we have to wrap anyways. I think what happens is Hero kind of holds his blade out to the orc and says, "We have your leaders apprehended. Move again and you die." And he doesn't attack, and that's enough for this guy to surrender, and the goblin in turn will surrender to you. We'll go to Illirin just real quick to see if there's any last action you wanted to take here.
Yeah, I'll cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and give me that, and then as we bring it to a close here, because we are at time, you learn that you take this Vanguard cell in as well as enemies of the state, enemies of Talos and the Royal Crown, and thus ends our little introduction in Talos. You know, I thought about not doing one and just getting you on the Envoy to begin with, but I think it adds a little bit of backdrop and gives you a flavor for what's going on inside the city, right? What it feels like.
Yeah.
So I think it needed to happen. Hope y'all had fun. Any shout outs that anyone wants to make? We'll start in order. So Illirin, do you have anything you want to add?
No, it's been great. I'm excited.
Awesome. Go to Jai next.
Yeah, I too am having a wonderful time. I don't have any shoutouts, but this is a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Awesome.
I get to play this awesome character with all these awesome people.
Indeed. And Lysandra.
Oh, that was great. I don't know if anyone actually came and watched, but if you did, thanks.
Hey, we've got GM of Revan here.
Yeah, hi, thanks.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. One of our fellow GMs at the Project Aurora.
Hey!
And our boy AP Gaming Real stopped by and gave a shout out. So, okay, so I'm going to close there. We'll be back next week with episode 2, and we'll probably be replacing the player that was going to play Sheep. But we'll see. We shall see. All right, have a good one. See you next week. Take care.